After absolutely ruining their reputation with one of the biggest failures in gaming history with the launch of Concord, it's time for PlayStation to really blow us away with what's coming to the PS5, and make us really believe in the future of PlayStation. So, with the September State of Play over, did they manage to pull it off? Let's find out. Starting off with Astrobot is a genius in my opinion. The game is on everybody's mind, everybody's loving it, everybody's enjoying it, and everybody knows that it is one of the best games that they've released in a while. It's an absolute blast to play. If you haven't played it, you should absolutely get it and play it right now. It is, to be honest, crazy to admit for me, but it is the only game on PlayStation that I have ever decided to platinum. I know that's crazy. I've been playing PlayStation obviously for years. Don't really care about trophies, but this game I actually powered through, got them all, 100% the game, completely worth it, and this free DLC looks like it's just going to be a blast. Absolutely play the game. Now, The Midnight Walk is one of those interesting games where it looks visually really cool and interesting, but at the same time could be a game that just comes out and just absolutely doesn't hit with anybody. I really like the unique art style. Being made out of clay and kind of the stop motion style looks really awesome, and being a mix of VR and non-VR is really, really good. I like when games do that a lot, and it just seems like there's a lot of potential here to tell a very interesting and unique story. The art style reminds me of the first time they showed Little Devil Inside, which is a game that has been missing for feels like forever, and who knows if it's ever coming out. That game's probably dead at this point. But this kind of reminds me of that art style and a little bit of Little Nightmares, and it just looks unique, and I want to play it. I really want to play it. I love that it's got the VR. I love that studios are still willing to take chances with VR, and especially having the dynamic approach of being able to play it one way or the other is really cool. High hopes for this. Hope it's really good. This game, however, has got me feeling a couple different ways, okay? The reason for that is that while it does look like a really cool Souls-like, the enemy design is just whatever, you know? Every single enemy is just like a white shape. Who cares? I really don't like when games do this very bland approach to enemy design. While yeah, it's cool, they seem to have very cool attacks that are unique and have different kind of particle effects and stuff. Just being a white, shapeless kind of guy, I mean, not shapeless, but like human-shaped figure is not cool at all. Be unique with your character designs. Take more risks, do more interesting things. It's kind of like Prey. One of my only things I didn't like about Prey is that everything is just a shadow. Who cares? Be unique, be cool. Like, yeah, sure, that's unique in a way, I guess, because other games don't do that, but it's not cool. It's really losing me on that. Hope it's good, but not sure exactly with that one. Metro VR is another one of those games that really, really appeals to me. Of course, it's not going to appeal to everybody. Most people on PlayStation do not have PlayStation VR 2. I think it's like 1 in 50 users have one. Obviously, it didn't sell well. PlayStation first-party studios have basically abandoned the thing. But this game does look visually appealing, it looks very interesting, and I hope it even comes close to being on the quality of Half-Life Alyx. Will it? Probably not. But does it look like it might? A little bit. Now this game right here, I don't really know what to say about it. It's trying to be flashy in all the wrong ways. It kind of reminds me of that Flintlock game, which kind of came and went very, very quickly. I mean, this guy looks like Altair, which is pretty cool. But the game itself is just like, you can really, really tell it's a Korean game and it's gonna have really grindy, just combat and everything. Cool or not cool? You tell me what you think. And same thing goes with Palworld. Let's be completely real here, folks. Palworld is a direct ripoff of Pokemon, and there is a reason why they're being sued. Is it a grind fest? Is it boring after a very short while? Absolutely. Is it buggy as hell? 100% it is. Do people care that it's coming to PlayStation? Probably if you haven't played it already, but you're not going to play it for long because the game is pretty much just a goof when you really get down to it. It's fine. It's whatever. I wouldn't put this in this. I mean, I guess I would put it in the state of play because, you know, it's a big deal for it to be coming to PlayStation, especially since it's not on the console yet. It's out today or out yesterday already. But as for like really getting down to playing things and like making this like, is this something that you should be mindful of or care about in the future of PlayStation? Probably not. Bringing back Lunar as a remastered collection is pretty cool. I mean, I'm saying a lot of things are cool, and it's just because it's what it is, to be honest. I feel like there's a lot of cool small kind of games here, and I think there's a lot of potential for people to like different types of games. Yeah, sure, they're not obviously like AAA style games that are just gonna blow you away and be like, oh my god, but they're unique, and that there's something that, you know, there's something here for everybody, and I think Lunar will really appeal to people who like classic JRPGs. Is everybody gonna play it? Absolutely not, but it's cool that it's there. Same thing with Turtle Shredder's Revenge. Yeah, whatever. It's a fun game. You can play it on Game Pass right now. Is it blowing anybody away? No, no chance. But you'll have fun playing it if you want to, and it's cool that it's getting this update. Shadow, played by Keanu Reeves, is officially coming to PlayStation, so perk up your eyes and open your freaking ears because this looks like Sonic back in full form. Has Sonic been good in a while? Absolutely not. Was Sonic Frontiers absolutely mid? 100% it was. But does that mean this is gonna be mid too? Probably. But does it look cool? A little bit. Will I play it? I think so. Shadow is cool, man. You can't go wrong with Shadow, let's be honest here. Now, Fantasian's one of those games that I've always kind of been interested in from like a distant realm, but you can't put a game like this on a phone and expect people to play it. So it's pretty awesome that it's actually coming to PlayStation and more people will probably get their hands on it and actually experience what the game is. But when it first came out, it should not have been an iPhone game. It should have just came out. Okay, Dragon Age, let me just talk about Dragon Age for a second here. BioWare used to be one of the greatest gaming studios ever in the world. And I use the word used to because I mean used to. They released banger after banger, and at some point they just decided, hey, let's stop making good games and let's start making shit that fucking sucks. And they've just been on a downward spiral ever since. And it seems like with Dragon Age, they're kind of trying to fix that, but at the same time, they're making non-stop bad choices and they're appealing to the wrong people. It's like all they want to do is be known as this diverse and inclusive game and that anybody could be it and represent yourself and that they're open to everything and that's what matters, is inclusion matters. It's like, focus on making a really good game first, then add that stuff. Focus on having a great story that actually has a point and focus on having characters that matter. Rather than showing like this is the quality of the game and this is the story and stuff, they're trying to push it from like a we're so inclusive perspective. And it's like, who cares about that? Is the game good? Is the game good? If the game is good, then let's play it and let's have a good time. But if the game is bad and it's just like, look at us, who cares? This is their opportunity to really blow us away, and then showing this gameplay where they're fighting this boss and this person just keeps dodging over and over is like, this is not how you should have showed the game. This is really not how you're winning anybody over in this like open arena, fighting this giant guy, casting these spells, dodging. Like, who cares? This is not a good representation of what the game is gonna be. Unless it is, and this is just like, if this is the game, it's done for. Like, this is nothing. This battle is nothing. Sorry, but BioWare, you gotta do better. Okay, Allan Wake 2 DLC, pay attention everybody, because this has potential to be the greatest DLC that ever releases in the history of DLC. I think Allan Wake 2 is a literal masterpiece, a treasure. Everyone should play it. It is up there with the quality of The Last of Us Part 2, and I think if this DLC even comes close to that, it will be absolutely stunning. This for sure seems like it's going to connect with Control 2, which is the next game that they're working on aside from Max Payne. And I think having that connection and really cementing the crossover between Allan Wake and Control is going to be awesome. Just look at it. It looks stunning. This game is going to be unbelievable. Comes out in October. Everybody get ready to play it. If you haven't played Allan Wake 2, play it right now. Hitman VR is one of those games that has come out before and it's been terrible, and now they're just re-releasing it again on PSVR 2, and I think same kind of thing. It just apparently is like the jankiest Hitman game of all time. This game to me just looks like it's not it. It doesn't look like a Hitman game, it looks like just like a first-person shooter VR game. Maybe there's some cool little VR elements, but I think realistically, you're not selling anybody on this. Legacy of Kane is an interesting game because I think while it does have that like rich history and people do love this game, it's not really, I don't know if this is really a game that people are going to go crazy for. I think the only people who are like really excited about seeing this reveal were people who are like, oh my, like, you know, over 30, of course. And they're probably think this is pretty cool, but still being remade by Aspire doesn't put a lot of confidence into it. And it just seems like this is a game that will appeal to a very small demographic of people. And it's not something that I think is wowing people too much. I want to give some thought to this Monster Hunter thing, okay? I'm somebody who's tried to play Monster Hunter many times. And every single time I've played, I'm always dropped off within the first few hours because I just don't understand the appeal. It's like it's trying to be a Dark Souls boss simulator without having the depth of combat with a Dark Souls boss. And I know when I say stuff like that, people are like, it's not Dark Souls, you don't understand. I know it's not Dark Souls, but I also don't know what it's supposed to be. And I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, the combat just doesn't feel right to me. I hate when the bosses run away and you gotta chase them. I don't like these little cat guys that make everything feel silly. I just don't, it's like, it's trying to be two different games at once. It's trying to be this really cool Monster Hunter experience, and it's also trying to be anime. And I don't have anything against anime. It's just that I don't like a lot of the animes where as soon as things get serious, they're like, let's do some fan service. And like doing all this cutesy stuff and whatever. It just completely throws me off the vibe. And that's what this game feels to me, where it's like, look at these cool armor and graphics and you're fighting these crazy things, but okay, now let's go. No, enough. Just make it cool, just make it good. I'm gonna play it. I'm of course gonna play it. I mean, come on, I'm not stupid. But like, do I expect myself to fall in love with it and really give it my all? Probably not. And I think it's just because that's maybe just Monster Hunter's not for me. I'm sure a lot of people are really excited by this, but it ain't me, you know what I'm saying? This also ain't me. Horizon Lego, I'm not a huge fan of Horizon. I think it is graphically one of the prettiest games ever. I think the art style and the gameplay of the game is really great. And I think that overall, Horizon is, of course, there's a reason why it's one of the leading franchises on PlayStation. But the one thing that holds the game back is that I think Aloy is one of the worst characters in existence. She is horrible. She is not likable at all. It's not because she's a woman, don't go crazy. It's just because she's just not a good character. Her personality sucks. She's not written well. She's very annoying while you're actually playing the game because she doesn't shut up and she constantly solves puzzles for you, so you don't even have to think, she just thinks for you. So I think maybe honestly dumbing it down to Lego might make it the best Horizon game, just because it'll be like a more fun and unique way of playing. But remastering Horizon Zero Dawn, it doesn't need a remaster. It's not The Last of Us, it doesn't need a remaster. The game already looks nice. It's also like, do people really care about playing more of Aloy's story? I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I've played the games, I've done a lot, you know, it's just, I don't like Aloy. I really don't like Aloy. I think if they used any other character in this game, it would be better. I just don't like Aloy. Sorry. Here's another thing too. The PS5 Pro reveal that they did in this is a little bit strange. It doesn't really showcase well. I understand that they're trying to say like, look at all the pretty games on PlayStation that play so well on PS5 Pro and look so nice on PS5 Pro. But when you're looking at it in a trailer like this, like on a stream like this, the quality is condensed and everything anyway and compressed that you don't get the full understanding of what it actually is going to be. So all those games just like that could just be footage from regular PS5. There's no real way of telling like what's better or what's not better. Because of that, then people go, why do I need a PS5 Pro? If the power is the exact same and I'm getting the same visuals, I'm getting the same experience, why would I get a PS5 Pro? It's PS5, just it's right there. So I think they gotta really do a better job at showing it, but especially with it coming out pretty soon, there's gonna be a lot more like trailers and stuff like that released on YouTube and everything that people will be able to really give a deep dive into. And I think that's gonna be the pushing factor here. And then that's really gonna cement whether people are gonna want it or not. Okay, here's where things get real, everybody. Ghost of Yotei might be insane. I don't wanna say it'll be the greatest game ever because I don't believe that. But when you watch this trailer in 4K, you get a real understanding that, holy Jesus, this is a beautiful looking game. And for being Sucker Punch's first game that they've actually built ground up for the PS5, wowza. This has got some quality in it. This has the potential to, I mean, not even the potential, it will be. This will be, I'll say it with fact, loud and proud, this will be the greatest Assassin's Creed game ever made. It might be time for Ubisoft to actually just stop making Assassin's Creed. Like, Shadows, just drop it. And maybe this is why they didn't actually show Shadows at Tokyo Game Show, is because this was being announced. So it was like, there's no reason to even compare these games because yours will lose so absolutely entirely because this game looks so stunningly good. Like, for it to be coming out next year, I'm glad that they're not leaving us hanging and saying that it's coming out 2026, 2027 or whatever, something stupid like that. This makes me confident that the future of PlayStation is going to be stunning. This game, Death Stranding 2, The Last of Us Part 3, whatever else Naughty Dog's working on, whatever the other 10, 15 PlayStation first-party studios are working on, there is excellence coming in the future. We just have to be patient. But my God, is next year going to be the best year in games ever. This game looks unreal. Can't wait for it. Was it a good state of play overall? Honestly, I thought not so bad. Usually state of plays are pretty garbage, but there was a bunch of stuff here that I thought looked really cool and I thought was interesting. Some of it I already knew about, of course. Everybody's seen it. The trailers have already been out and stuff like that. But overall, it was not a bad showing. It just wasn't a great showing. But I think having Ghost of Yotei be at the end there really just nailed it of like, oh man, you guys got something to be excited for. And it's this game. Wowza.